Always it is showing no space. Wait. There is no data. Yes, record mode started. Today concept is STLC. So STLC means the software testing life cycle. Software testing life cycle contains 6 phases: test planning, test development, test execution, result analysis, bug tracking, and reporting. So today we discuss test plan. What do you mean by plan? Plan is nothing but it is a strategic document which describes how to perform a task in an effective and efficient and optimized way. So if you do plan, so we can complete that work very easy way. So without plan we can't do. So plan is nothing but it is very important. If you want to do any other work or if you want to do anything, so plan is very important. So test plan document prepared by test lead will prepare the test plan document. So based on the customer requirements, based on the project type, based on the company economical status, he will choose the plan. He will prepare the plan. He will prepare the plan based on the customer requirements, based on the company, based on company economical status. He will prepare the plan. So test plan document prepared by test lead. Today we will discuss this test plan. Very important. Without asking your name, they may give job, but without asking test plan document, they will not give job. So test plan document is very important. Today we will discuss test plan. Test plan document prepared by test lead. So here we will learn 12 points today. So these 12 points at any cost you need to buy hard tomorrow. So test plan is very important. This is the heart of the course. Test plan document prepared by test lead, not our duty. Sometimes if it is small companies, senior software test engineers will involve into test plan preparation. But if it is MNC company, only test lead will prepare the test plan document. So test plan document contains 12 points. That 12 points we will discuss today. So first point, introduction. Introduction. So first point, introduction. In this first point, first one is 1.1 objective. Objective means the purpose of the document clearly you will describe here in this section. What is the main purpose? What is that book covers? Everything you will listed out here in this section, that is called objective. What is the main purpose of the document? Clearly you will describe here in this section, that is called objective. So whenever you are buying new book, so any textbook, so that time that author will write about that book contains, what is the aim, what is the theme of the book, so what is that book covers, what is that book contains, everything he will list it out. What is the purpose, what is the main purpose of the document, clearly he will describe here in this section, that is called objective. The purpose of the document, what is that book covers, everything he will list it out here in this section, that is called objective. Second point, reference documents. 1.2 reference documents. What are the documents compulsory we should refer? He will list it out here in this section that is called reference documents. What are the documents we should refer? So he will list it out here in this section that is called reference documents. So if you want to complete this particular project, so we need to follow some documents. So what are the documents we should follow? He will list it out here in this section that is called objective. Sorry, reference documents. For example, for example, recently we did one project that is ICICI Bank project. For example, we did one project that is ICICI Bank project. ICICI Bank project. Recently we did one project that is ICICI Bank project. Nearly, we did nearly 200 members continuously. We did 2 years. 2 years. After developing this project, during delivery, we will store in common repository. We will store in common repository with the name SR Nagar ICICI Bank. SR Nagar ICICI Bank. So this is called common repository. Common repository is nothing but it is a storage place where we can store the total company information, recently completed in project information, upcoming project information, total employees, turnover, project information, everything they will store in one repository that is called CR. CR means common repository. So this information also we will keep in common repository with one name like SR Nagar ICICI Bank. So after 2 years, so for after days, so we got another project. For example, after some days, we got another project. Just similar project, HDFC project, we got it. We got another project that is HDFC. For example, we got another project. So that is HDFC project. If you want to open the account in HDFC Bank or ICICI Bank, both templates same. Some fields extra, some fields less. Remaining format is same. So ICICI similar project we got that is HDFC new project. So already we have some information. ICICI Bank information already we have. Using that information, we can complete this particular project within 2 months. Within 2 months, already we have information in common repository. Using that information, we can complete this particular project in within 2 months with 20 members. 2 months in 20 members. So nearly we saved lakhs of rupees, crores of rupees, and a lot of time we saved. Nearly we saved 22 months. We saved 22 months. That is the use of reference documents. So he will list it out whenever we got project. So this project lead will list it out. What are the documents we should follow? He will list out the all the project information or all the documents information. Using that information, we can complete that particular project very easily, simply we can complete that project. That is reference documents importance are huge. So in Hyderabad city we have 3,000 plus companies, but all the companies will not develop all type of projects. Some companies they will develop only banking domain project. Some companies will develop only insurance domain project. Some companies will develop only healthcare domain project. Some companies they will develop only educational domain projects. So different companies they will develop only different modules only. For example, Infosys already they developed nearly banking domain projects as well as only insurance domain projects. So for example, insurance people already they developed insurance projects as well as banking domain projects. For example, if they get any other project like finance, so we got another new project, but they will not accept. They will not accept that project. Why? Because they don't have any information about that particular project or particular module. So or particular domain, so they don't have any information, so they will not accept that particular project. Why? Because they don't have any information about that module, sorry, about that domain. So if they don't have any domain knowledge, they can't develop that particular project very simply or easily. So compulsory, if they have any information, then only they will accept that project. So if it is so and so, for example, okay, some people came for my institute and they are asking, sir, we need .NET training. So .NET, I don't know .NET. So So I can't provide. So already if I know some information regarding they asked, inquired something Selenium or QTP or low runner, quality center or ETL testing, SQL server or Oracle or Java. If they ask about any one, I can do it. Already I know some information, I can explain something. But I don't know .NET. How can I explain? How can I do that particular project? How can I do that work? So there is no possibilities. So that's the reason all the companies will not develop all type of domains. Okay, they will choose one or two domains. Only they will develop that domain projects only. So what are the documents we should follow, he will list it out here in this section. If they have information, then only they will accept. Otherwise simply they will reject the project. Why? Because they don't have any information, they don't have any professionals. For example, if I don't know money transaction, I can't work with I don't if I don't know money transaction or cash deposit or money withdrawals, I don't know any terms. So I can't work, I can't work with bank. So I'm not eligible for bank. Why? Because you should know some information, basic information you should know, then only you can do work, otherwise you can't do. So if I got job in ICICI bank, so without knowing any information, I can't go to bank, and I can't do any other work. So I don't know, I'm totally new to that area. Some fellow came and he's asking some information, but I don't know information, I don't know. So how can I help? So there is no chance. That's the reason. So whenever a company choosing any particular domain project, if they have domain knowledge, then only they will choose that. They will accept that project. So for example, whenever we are seeing the requirement like paper, so some company they will ask 3 years experience in particularly mainly in banking domain. They will mention. Why? Because they want banking professionals. So already if they have a banking experience, whenever you are working with project, it will help that information. So that's the reason only domain knowledge people, whenever you are working with any software company, if they got any new project, that time they will choose limited members. Already if they have any banking domain knowledge, if they did any banking domain projects, then only they will take into that particular project. So that is very very important. Reference documents, so all the software companies will maintain common repository. In the common repository they will maintain all the information. If they get any similar project in future, using that information they can complete that particular project very easy. So that is introduction. Okay, first point is over. Right. Second point. Second point, coverage of testing. Second point, coverage of testing. In this 2.1, features to be testing. Second point, 2.2, features to be testing, features not to be testing. So coverage of testing, what areas we need to cover, what areas we can leave it, he will listed out here in this section. So that's the reason we can say coverage of testing. In this first one, features to be testing, what features compulsory we need to test, he will listed out. So whenever you are working with any software company, sir, customer will say number of requirements. So he wants 3 buttons in the application. For example, he wants 3 buttons in the application. A is mandatory, B is not mandatory, C is mandatory. He mentioned, so he is mentioned with a star. So this field is mandatory. So compulsory we need to test. This field also mandatory. Compulsory we need to test. So this A and B is mandatory fields. Compulsory we need to test. C, B is not mandatory field. So we can leave this field. So if you have time, you can test. Otherwise, you can leave that field. Why? Because customer is saying clearly. So what features we need to test, you will listed out here in this section that is called features to be testing. What features no need to test, you will listed out here in this section that is called features not to be tested. What features we need to test, what features no need to test, you will listed out here in this section that is called coverage of testing. So second point is over. Right. Third point. Third point, test strategy. Third point, test strategy. Test strategy. Test strategy. So in this 3.1 levels of testing. First of all, we should know what is test strategy. So, for example, you are working with one software company. In this company, currently, they are developing three projects. They are developing three projects. These are the three projects. These are the three projects. Each and project are having own plan. Each and every project having own plan. This plan is applicable for only this particular project. This plan is applicable for only for this particular project. This plan is applicable for only this particular project. So total company having one plan, that is called a test strategy. Total company having one plan, that is called a test strategy. Test strategy. Total company having one plan, that is called a test strategy. Each and every test plan should follow the test strategy. Each and every test plan should follow the test strategy. Plan is whenever you are facing the interview, that time they may ask you like what are the main differences between plan and the test strategy. Plan is applicable for only that particular project. Plan is applicable for only that particular project. Test strategy is nothing but test strategy is nothing but it is a organization level term. Each and every test plan should follow the test strategy. So for example, test plan is applicable for only that particular project, sir. Test strategy is nothing but it is a organization level term. That means it is total company plan. Each and every test plan should follow the test strategy. Each and every test plan should follow the test strategy. So that is the main difference between test strategy and test plan. For example, each and every company having own plan, that is called a test strategy. Best example, for example, I am the chef. I'm the chef. I know cook. I know cooking. So I'm working as a chef. So I'm going to which hotel? Golconda Hotel, for example. So they will tell some requirements, sir. Actually, in this hotel, we have good name in the market. So if there any customer come to hotel, so compulsory we should concentrate only on quality. Quality should be good. Quality is we will main focus on only quality. So according their requirements, I will work with that Golconda Hotel. That's company. That is the company requirement, company strategy. Okay. After that, I'm moving to another hotel like. Uh, Five-star hotel, Grand Kakatiya or something, Taj Krishna or Taj Banjara. I'm going to another hotel. So once again, they will call and they will tell requirements. Sir, actually, we will main focus only on quantity. Quantity should be big. Oh, quality, no, there is no chance. Here, number of people will come only based on quantity. Quantity base, they will come and they will eat food, but here is quality is not important. Okay, based on that requirement, based on company rules and regulations, I will work with that hotel. So that is test strategy. So each and every company having own plan, that is called test strategy. Plan is applicable for only that particular project. So only applicable for only that particular project only. So this each and every test plan should follow the test strategy. Each and every test plan should follow the test strategy. So in the 3.1, first one, levels of testing. Already we discussed there are 5 levels of testing: unit level testing, module level testing, integration level testing, system level testing, user acceptance level testing. Already we discussed. Next 3.2, types of testing. Types of testing. Next one, types of testing. So already we discussed 18 types of testing: build acceptance testing, regression testing, retesting, alpha testing, beta testing, static testing, dynamic testing, installation testing, compatibility testing, end-to-end testing, usability testing, monkey testing, experts testing, and reliability testing, port testing, mutation testing, ad hoc testing, security testing. So we discussed 18 types of testing. 3.3 test to design techniques. Test to design techniques. First of all, we should know what do you mean by technique. Technique means a complex task solved by very simple way. So that's why that is called a technique. A complex task solved by very simple way. So that's why we can call. So that is called technique. There are two techniques available in manual testing. One is BVA. BVA means boundary value analysis. Second one is ECP, equivalence class partitions. There are two techniques available in manual testing. One is BVA, second one is ECP. BVA means boundary value analysis, ECP means equivalence class partition. Using these two techniques, we can work with any software company, any manual project. So these two techniques are very, very important. Entire manual testing. So first place goes to test design techniques in entire manual testing. First interview question is only test design techniques. Okay, we will discuss later. Why? Because without knowing test case concept, we can't discuss these two techniques. So we will discuss later. Next, 3.4 terminology. Whenever you are working with any software company, regularly we will use some terms or words. So that is called terminology. For example, I am going to bank. What are that? Regularly we will use some terms: cash withdrawal, money deposit, cash, money transfer, and check, and transaction. Okay. Next, amount. Mm, just like we will discuss some terms. So that is called terminology. Terms. Regularly we will use some terms in whenever you are working with software company, that are terms. So the terminology I will, this is also pending. So test design techniques and the terminology we will discuss later. Next concept, 3.5 test metrics. Metrics means measurements. Each and every software company will follow some metrics, measurements. So that is called test metrics. Metrics means measurements. Each and every software company will follow some metrics, measurements. That is called test metrics. Metrics means measurements, like use case template, test case template, defect profile template, requirement gathering template, traceability matrix template. So each and every software company, they will provide some supported documents. So the documents is called metrics. Metrics means measurements. Each and every software company will follow different metrics. So all the companies, there is no unique metrics. Each and every software company having own metrics, they will follow that own metrics. So that is the metrics means measurements. One of based on the customer requirement, we will use the measurements. Okay, each and every software company having own measurements. So that is called test metrics. 3.6 software configuration management. Software configuration management. Software configuration management. So in this we have two things. One is change control. Change control. First one is change control. So what is change control? We will discuss now. First, FRS, customer is said. FRS means customer requirements. He said in the FRS, he want two buttons in the application. He want two buttons in the application, A, B. Based on the customer requirements, developer will develop the application. Okay. Middle of the project, customer came to company and is saying one more requirement like, sir, actually, I said two buttons in the application, but I need three buttons. So developer developed three buttons. That information we don't know. Customer came to company, he gave requirements, we don't know. So after developing the application, they will sending it to testing department. So then we will treat as a defect. Actually, we got one FRS. In the FRS, he mentioned two buttons in the application, but application having three buttons. So we will treat as a defect. We will treat as a defect. Actually, we got FRS. In the FRS, customer is mentioned two buttons in the application, but developer three buttons. So we will treat as a that is defect. We will treat as a that is defect. We will raise the defect to developers. So developers will give some clarifications. Actually, customer first he said two buttons in the application, but middle of the project he came to company and he added one more requirement. That's the reason we developed like this. Okay, issue was closed. Issue closed. Issue closed. Okay. Next, before before delivery, they will store in common repository. That project information they will keep in common repository. CR. They will store in common repository. They will store in common repository. So in future, if you get any similar project, if you want to use this information as a reference document, that time we can feel confused. Why? Because so already FRS having only two already FRS in the FRS we have requirement that application should contain two buttons, but application having three buttons. Okay, we can feel confused. So that's the reason whenever if it is any changes made by anyone, customer or company people or developer or tester, if it is any changes made by anyone, the parallelly we need to update the information into FRS, then only so we can use any project as a reference document. So without updation in FRS, so we can feel confused. Application having two buttons, sorry, FRS having two, but in the FRS document, that application should contain two buttons. So that is the requirement. But application having three buttons, okay, we can feel confused. That's the reason. If it is any changes made by anyone, parallelly we need to update the information into FRS. So that is called change control. If it is any changes made by anyone, parallelly we need to update the information into FRS. So that is called change control. Next, version control. Next, version control. Version control. So this is the version 8, for example. This is the version 8. This is the version 9. So version 8, version 9. So just here you should remember only one thing. If it is any company or any site, so they will release new versions into market. Why they will release new versions into market? Already existing version is not working properly based on the customer requirement. It is not reached. So that's the reason they will introduce one another version into market. So version to version, some feels extra, some feels less. Some feels extra, some feels less. So whenever you are raising the defect to developers, so compulsory we should mention the version number. Then only they will accept. Otherwise, they will not accept the particular build or application or anything. So compulsory whenever you are raising the defect. So we are raising defect. Here I am writing C is not working. C is not working. So in the FRS, in the 8th version, there is no C. There is no C. For example, in the version 9, C is not working. I'm raising the defect. C is not working. But which version? Which version C is not working? Compulsory we should mention the version number. That is also very, very important for testing units. Next, 3.7. Automation plan. Automation plan. If you want to implement automation in this project, how to implement? So automation plan prepared by automation test lead. So if they want to introduce automation into this particular project, how we can plan? So he will list it out here in this section that is called automation plan. Next 3.8, list of automated tools. So you will list out the all automation tools. You will list out the all automation tools so in market we have different tools. Within 1,000 we can buy a tool. Within 1 crore rupees we can buy a tool. Okay. So based on the company economical status, we will choose the tools. So for example, if it is small company, they will not buy 1 crore rupees tool. They will buy only 1,000 rupees tool. So just tools is nothing but just like cars. In market we have different cars. Nano, within 1 lakh we can get a nano car. So if it is Benz or BMW, we need to pay lakhs of rupees. So that means, so nano is car, Benz also car, but facility is different. So based on the company economical status, we will choose the car. Based on the person economical status, we will choose the cars. So based on the company economical status, they will choose the tools. So in market we have different tools. What are the tools we can use in this particular project? He will list it out here in this section, that is list of automated tools. What type of tools we can use in this particular project? So he will list it out all the points. So all the points, what are the tools we can use in this particular project? So previously I worked in Capgemini, for example. We used 1,000 rupees tools. Now also, if you want to use that Capgemini tools, it is not possible. Currently I'm working in small company, small, very small company, startup company. So based on the company, we need to choose the tools. That is very important. Fourth point, base criteria. So base criteria. In this we have 2 points. One is acceptance criteria. Second one is suspension criteria. 4.2. One is the acceptance criteria. Second one is the suspension criteria. One is the acceptance criteria. Second one is suspension criteria. So acceptance criteria means while doing testing, while doing testing, while doing testing, so if you get this type of result, if you get this type of result, our testing is more than enough. So application no need to test. So you will say one end point that is called acceptance criteria. So for example, I'm taking calculator application. So if you take 10 in the place of value 1, if you take 20 in the place of value 2, if you click an add button, if it is showing 30, yes, our testing is more than enough. No need to test. You will say one end point. So that is called acceptance criteria while doing testing. So while working with the calculator application, if you take 10 in the place of value 1, if you take 20 in the place of value 2, if you click an add button, if it is showing 30, our testing is more than enough. No need to test. You will say one end point, that is called acceptance criteria. Next, suspension criteria. While doing testing, if you while working with the calculator application, if you take 10 in the place of value 1, if you take 20 in the place of value 2, if you click an add button, if it is not showing anything, so just suspend the process or stop the process. You will say one end point, that is called suspension criteria, acceptance criteria and suspension criteria. So while doing testing, if you get this type of result, our testing is more than enough, no need to test, you will say one endpoint, that is called acceptance criteria. Suspension criteria means while working with that application, if you get this type of result, our testing is just no need to test, suspend the process or stop the process. You will say one endpoint, that is called suspension criteria, acceptance criteria, suspension criteria. So these are the 4 points we discussed in test planning today. So very important points. Already we finished nearly 4 points finished. So this is very important. Just once read and by heart compulsory. So compulsory, you should no need to remember sequence, but all the points you should cover whenever you are facing the interview. So this is very important concept. Just you should explain each and every point. You should explain. That is also very important. Only just if you tell the only test plan index, that is not enough. Okay, you are the experienced person. Compulsory you should tell, like you should know all the terms and the terminology, and you should explain very clearly. So that is also very important. What is the use of reference documents? So what is the use of change control? What is the use of version control? What is version control? What is configuration management? What is test metrics? What is terminology? What is boundary value analysis? What is equivalence class partition? So these are the all are very important points. So or levels of testing, types of testing, test design techniques, configuration management, change control, version control, automation plan, list of automated tools. So you should explain each and every point. That is also very important. Just you should plan. Just I will stop the record mode.